The Wayne County Sheriff has been busy recently, fending off claims of misconduct over gifts and money.
Reports by the 7 investigators have landed Sheriff Raphael Washington before the county's ethics board. And while he's been busy fending off one recent controversy, he's also trying to deal with another.
Here is 7 investigator Ross Jones.
At a meeting of the Wayne County Ethics Board Wednesday, the conduct of the county sheriff was front and center.
Gifts and gratuity standards of conducts of ethics ordinance by Sheriff Raphael Washington.
At issue was a Facebook post he made last October asking for donations to his mother celebrating her 86th birthday. If any of you would like to be a blessing to Mom today, feel free to Cash App her, Washington wrote, telling friends exactly where they could send their money. The post was shared with us by others in law enforcement who saw it and thought it ran afoul of the county's ethics rules, prohibiting elected officials from soliciting gifts for themselves or relatives. When we asked the sheriff's office about the post, Washington deleted it and refused to say how much money, if any, had been donated.
It was there for the world to see. That solicitation was posted on Facebook.
Reggie Crawford has often clashed with the sheriff. The former head of the deputies union, he filed a complaint with the ethics board that was heard yesterday.
I've never seen this done before. It's foreign to me. I've never seen that done by an elected official, but that doesn't make it bad.
Well, Board Chair Philip Thomas expressed some concern over the sheriff's post. The majority of board members seemed unbothered, including the sheriff's own appointee to the board, Keetra Lewis.
Yes, ma'am.
So if he was trying to hide something, why would he post a Facebook post like that?
There was no intent, in my view, no intent to solicit anyone. It may have been incidental.
Board member Demetrius Ford said the sheriff couldn't have violated the ethics rules because of what he was wearing in his photo.
He had a blue suit on, which is, was not his uniform. In my opinion, there was no intent there.
Does whether or not he's sheriff change whether or not he's wearing a blue suit?
Yeah, I think in his own private capacity, yes.
By a 3-1 vote, the board voted to dismiss the complaint, a win for Washington, but maybe not the end of questions over his conduct.
When you gave him all these gifts, in a way, were you trying to buy this badge?
In my mind, yes.
Last week, we showed you how the sheriff accepted free merchandise from a man seeking an appointment to become a reserve deputy for the county. The man, who spoke to us on the condition we not name him, provided text messages showing he offered the sheriff free merchandise he could use to promote himself. Hundreds of mugs and phone chargers, and thousands of pens, too, all valued in the thousands of dollars. He said he threw in other gifts, too, like a $250 vacuum. Washington gave him a badge before taking it away months later after that man had contacts with police he did not disclose. The sheriff's office said that the gifts were irrelevant to his appointment and that Washington certainly never used them. But photos posted to social media and recordings we obtained told another story.
Yeah, I need some mugs. I'm having a fundraiser birthday party. Okay. On the end of August, and I'm doing some VIP bags.
The sheriff never disclosed the donated items in his campaign finance statements. And on Monday, 4 days after our story, 2 of the sheriff's security guards made a home delivery.
Hey, we're from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office.
Giving back what was left of those personalized mugs, phone chargers, and pens. Hundreds of items were missing, the former reserve deputy says, and the vacuum cleaner had seen better days.
There was hair all over it. It was used. There was dust all over it. It was clearly used, missing pieces.
It sounds like he's trying to cover what was already done. And he's trying to, after the story ran, he's trying to backtrack and see if he can sort of get out of this.
Karan Pinkins is the former chair of the Wayne County Ethics Board.
It sounds as though he's learning the rules as he goes along. I'm not sure who's advising him, but he should have known this from the forefront.
Well, based on what was not returned, the former deputy says the sheriff seems to have used or kept about 300 mugs, 1,300 pens, and over 200 phone chargers. It is unclear tonight if returning those items could stave off another complaint with the ethics board, but the sheriff has a perfect record with the board so far, though he is down a vacuum cleaner.
Ross, I do want to ask you one question. So if the ethics board decided that he was at fault and in the wrong, what would happen at that point?
Well, that's a good question because they voted not to have a hearing, so we don't even know what the sort of potential punishments with the last incident were. In theory, they could ask him to pay a fine, they could ask him to give this back, but the ethics board will have to take action for us to know what is even an option. So far, they've voted not to do anything.
Maybe it'll get them to codify those policies and procedures. I mean, that would...
Or maybe just read the policies. I mean, they're there for a reason.
All right, Ross, thank you.